Hello and welcome to That's Football, the football channel that discusses all the generic Manchester United. No, it doesn't. I would make that mistake. The football channel that discusses all football news and gives you, the fans, the real people that matter in football, that opportunity to get involved and have your say. So what are we here to talk about? We're here to talk about the transfer window. Who was the biggest L and who was the winner of the transfer window? And as a Manchester United fan, and many of you will know me from the United stand, I think you're going to be quite surprised who I believe has won this transfer window, because it's not the red of Manchester. It's not the blue either. I'm giving you too many clues. But let's summarise the transfer window. You've got Alexis Sanchez furious with Arsenal that he's got to spend another year there. Philippe Coutinho furious with Liverpool that he's got to spend another year there. And Ashley Young absolutely ecstatic that he will spend another year at Manchester United. He's survived another transfer window and he will earn another 120 grand a week for at least another 12 months. But a little bit of joke in there. Let's have a look at who has won this transfer window then. From a lot, well, Everton are going to get mentioned, and Everton deserve to be mentioned. They have had a good transfer window, and I'll mention them in a minute. But I think in relation to who's lost it, I mean, let's not try and build up any fanfare. I think Arsenal fans are more than happy to wear that crown of L for the remainder of this season, and they have taken a few L's. So many in London that Chelsea have now called Chesley. No, that's still got an L in it. Poor joke. They're not going well tonight. But Arsenal. They've signed, let's have a look at this, because I can never pronounce his name right. I don't even know if I'm going to get this right. So Arsenal have signed Sead Kolasinac from Schalke for free, and Alexandre Lacazette, the French Jermaine Defoe as I call him. I mean, probably not fair to call him that. I think he'll be a decent striker, but Arsenal, I mean, £200 million war chest, as I said before, not particularly happy campers, the Arsenal fans, and I totally agree with that. I find it funny not being an Arsenal fan, but it could be anybody, and Arsenal have had a bad transfer window. Lost Oxlade-Chamberlain as well. I think Koscielny's done his Achilles in as well. Mustafi wanted to leave. Ozil's only got a year left on his contract. I think Ramsey is as well. I mean, let's be honest, Arsene Wenger, not only has he lost Champions League for the first time in 10 years, he's also lost Arsenal probably about £150 million over this summer by not getting people on long-term contracts. Sanchez will go for free. Chelsea. Rudiger, decent. I actually spoke about Rudiger on the United stand over the summer. I think he's decent, although without being, I can't see him being amazing in the Premier League. I think he's a decent centre-back. Bakayoko, consistently wasn't impressed with him. I mean, Kante may well do a lot of the work for him, but I'm not impressed with Bakayoko. Morata, big fan of Morata. I think he's a good signing. Kylian Hazard, don't know much about him. Zabacosta, he's a bit like Darmian. I don't think he's ever going to set the Premier League on fire, but I think he'll be a steady fullback. Danny Drinkwater, the less said the better. I mean, really, he can only at best be a Chelsea backup. I mean, why? To United's credit and to United's advantage, we took Matic, but Drinkwater replacing him, I think is funny. Now, Everton is quite a list. Jordan Pickford's a good goalkeeper. Klasan from Ajax, very, very good centre midfielder. Whether he can adapt to the Premier League is the big question mark. Geordie Classy at Southampton, that didn't end well. So many. Michael Keane, I think he's a steady centre-back, good for them. Wayne Rooney, obviously, drink charges permitting, will be a decent Premier League proven, Premier League great, and he's had a good start to the season. Gylfi Sigurdsson, again, Premier League proven. And Nikola Vlasic is worth a mention from Hajduk Split. Very, very talented young player, and one to keep an eye on. Liverpool. Mohamed Salah, Dominic Solanke from Chelsea, Andrew Robertson from Hull, steady left back, and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. I don't actually think it's the transfer window many Liverpool fans thought they were going to get 24 hours ago when Van Dijk and Lamar were being mentioned. And I think Van Dijk or Lamar vastly improves that Liverpool transfer window. Salah, he's had a good start to the season. I think he'll be a decent signing for them, although he did flop previously at Chelsea. I think he'll be decent. Oxlade-Chamberlain is Oxlade-Chamberlain. You know, he never set the world on fire at Arsenal. Inconsistent at best. Decent backup player for Liverpool, but he's not going to win them the title. Nobody is. Andrew Robertson, Hull, left back, again, steady. These aren't players that are going to take them to the Premier League title, unfortunately. For Liverpool fans, I'm happy about that. I don't like Liverpool. Manchester City, Bernardo Silva, good signing. Ederson, goalkeeper. Kyle Walker, steady, right back, Premier League, one of the best. Danilo from Real Madrid, I think he'll flop. Benjamin Mendy, good. So the vast majority of Manchester City signings are defenders. They still can't keep a clean sheet, and they've got a new goalkeeper in there. Bernardo Silva, slow start to the Premier League, not to be unexpected. It is a difficult league. But I really do think that Alexis Sanchez to Manchester City was the one that they wanted. It was probably the move Alexis Sanchez wanted. It was certainly the move I didn't want as a Manchester United fan. And I think that signing would have made City favourites for the title. But it's not to be. Manchester United, what can I say? Lukaku, good signing. I did want Morata. I think Mourinho wanted Morata, but Lukaku is a very good signing. Matic has been a revelation. I mean, even people who wanted Matic, United fans over the summer, there was a few, vast majority didn't, but he's not the player he was at Chelsea. Mourinho knows what Matic is. He's given him the freedom to express himself. I think this fits in with Chelsea. I know this show's not really about why people refused Chelsea. A lot of people did refuse Chelsea this summer. I think a lot of that comes down to the fact that he is... Conte has a bad reputation in the Premier League. That is the rumours, that he rules it with an iron fist. He's not very negotiable. A lot of people weren't happy with what he did with Costa, and that has spread through. There's a lot of players that have shunned Chelsea, and a lot of people, myself included in that, and I don't know what Chelsea fans think about it, is that you are the champions of England. Chelsea have always been able to attract players. They have beaten United and other clubs in the past two signings that you wouldn't expect them to. This summer, they're struggling to get people like Oxlade-Chamberlain who would rather go to Liverpool. And I think that is probably evidenced perfectly by Matic. Matic had a decent season for Chelsea last year, but he's nowhere near what the player they see now. The amount of Chelsea fans I've spoken to who are furious that Matic was let go, but furious that they never saw the Matic of what United are getting at Chelsea last year because Conte had him so restricted. And I think that is the problem with Chelsea, isn't it? But Manchester United, Matic, very good signing. Lukaku, a good signing. Lindelof, we're yet to see the full potential of him so far. And obviously Zlatan back in January is a big signing. Which leaves us with Spurs. I mean, I could go through lots of club signings, and I would like to just give a very quick shout out to West Brom. I'm sure we haven't got any West Brom players, fans. We might have a few fans watching, but they've had a good season for themselves in relation to where they are. Jay Rodriguez from Southampton, Gareth Barry from Everton, Oliver Burke, keep your eye on him, Red Bull Leipzig, formerly of Nottingham Forest, really talented Scottish winger, Kieran Gibbs from Arsenal, and I'm never going to get this name right, never going to get it right, from PSG, but a very good and experienced midfielder in Grzegorz Krikautric. I can't even do his name, but he is a good signing. Javier Hernandez from West Ham, I think, will turn out to be one of the best signings of the summer as well, although West Ham may well still go down. But the one I wanted to talk about, and I tell you what, I'm going to shock people here. My team that won this transfer window is Spurs. And I'm going to come back with a theory why Spurs won't win the league, but I think that their transfer window was very silent, very came up on the ropes, but I think they win it. A transfer window should not be judged on big status signings, because you can do something and you can go, wow, they've signed Gareth Bale, but they've already got 2 or 3 players who play that position, but what a summer they've had. I think United tried to achieve it this year, and I think Spurs achieved it better. Is actually signing players that they need to improve themselves or give them depth in certain areas. So Davinson Sanchez from Ajax, defender. I think he gives them a lot of cover and a very good centre-back for them. Serge Aurier is a better right-back than Kyle Walker, and they've got him for half the price of Kyle Walker. He's younger than Kyle Walker, and he's better than Kyle Walker. I think that signing is typical Spurs, typical Daniel Levy. Aurier is infinitely better infinitely better than Kyle Walker, and he will prove that, and they've gone in for half the price. I think that's the signing of the summer. That's the deal of the summer. Not really been spoken about because it's not glamorous, is it? Arsenal getting more news because of their failings. City get more news because the press love Pep. United get more news because United are the biggest club in the world. But Aurier, Kyle Walker out for 50 million, and then, I mean, they deserve an applause for that. Come on, 50 million for Kyle Walker, but then to get Aurier in for less than half that. Better player, younger, like I said. Really, really good signing. And then Fernando Llorente, one of the best players in the Premier League last year when he was at Swansea. It's a struggling side that nearly went down. They've got Harry Kane. The pressure's always on Harry Kane to deliver the goods. They've now got Llorente to back him up. If we're going to say United won the transfer window for making 3 signings, then also on top of that, Spurs have also bought in Paulo Casanigo from Southampton and Juan Foyth from Estudiantes or something like that. But the 3 that really impressed me, Davinson Sanchez from Ajax, Serge Aurier and Fernando Llorente. Not the most glamorous signings, and I'm sure Chelsea fans will be going, oh, hold on, we've got Bakayoko, we've got Morata. Yes, you have, but I just think that those signings for Spurs make them strong in areas where they were weak. Losing Kyle Walker was big, but you've got a better right back now. I think their centre-backs, beyond what they have with Alderweireld and Vertonghen, I think the Sanchez lad gives them some really good young cover there. And Llorente is experienced, very experienced, and he'll share the load with Harry Kane. Liverpool, I don't think Liverpool even come into. I'm going to take your comments now because that's what it's all about. But Spurs won't win the league. If we've got any Spurs fans, you have won for what it's worth. My opinion is you've had the best transfer window out of everybody who you would put in that bracket of winning the Premier League. But you won't win the Premier League because your worst signing was moving to Wembley. You won't pick the points up. You had a very good record at White Hart Lane. I know you had to move somewhere because your new ground's fantastic, but Wembley was a bad idea. I think you should have ground shared with somebody else instead of making a quick buck, which is what football's all about now. Because you're at Wembley, you won't win the Premier League this year. You've already dropped however many points at Wembley. Burnley and Chelsea, 1 point from those 6. That's going to be Spurs' problem. Although I do think they had a really, really, really good transfer window. A lot of people are saying, who do you think would be second? I don't buy into this fact that Liverpool have had a good transfer window. I think 48 hours ago they probably were looking like it. If they got Van Dijk and Lamar, I think they would have been arguably the best transfer window. But just because you've got Salah and Oxlade-Chamberlain and a Chelsea youth reject, who is a good player by the way, Solanke, and Robertson, I don't think that puts you ahead of Spurs. You've actually gone out and improved. I mean, that deal, Kyle Walker for Aurier, I think it just doesn't get the credit it deserves. I think United have had a better summer than Liverpool because they've actually brought in a centre defensive midfielder who is top class in Matic, and I think Lukaku will score a lot of goals. I don't think Chelsea's transfer window is as bad as some would say. I think it's embarrassing how they've been rejected by so many people, but I think that falls down on Conte and the reputation he has. But I do think Morata's a good signing. The jury is out on all the rest. They've massively overpaid for Drinkwater, but that's the summer window. Arsenal, I mean, you basically signed Lacazette. You've needed a striker for a long time, but I just don't see Lacazette. I mean, he didn't even start in the Liverpool game. That's what keeping Sanchez is good. He looks like a professional, but no, I'd give it to Spurs. Maybe it's the thinking man's one to go, but I would give it to Spurs. Andrew Gardner says, why didn't United get Aurier? Well, I suppose Spurs could offer him first team football, which United can't. Naby Keita comes into the picture next season. Won't be helping Liverpool anyway this year. I know a few Liverpool fans, for my sins. They're alright people, to be honest. They can't help who they support. This is a neutral channel, by the way. That's football. That's what it's all about. But I can't. I draw the line at Liverpool. I can't find anything. I can give an honest opinion on Liverpool, but I can't ever get excited or if they do well in the Champions League, I'm sorry, I'd rather the opposition won. Everybody else, I'm all right with. We've all got our limitations, but Keita doesn't come to Liverpool until next summer. United will have Griezmann next summer, as I've just said on the United Stand video I've just finished. Griezmann will be at United next summer, so City could sign Sanchez next year. They could get Messi next year. You don't know who's going to... I think these next summer signings, unless they're actually on loan with you for a year before, irrelevant. Klopp could be sacked next summer. Liverpool could be in the Europa League next summer. So Keita signing, I don't include that. Who do I think is going to win the Premier League? Says Manchester United Fans TV. Manchester United. I've said that, and it's not just because I support them. I have said that. We've not swapped the YouTube channel at all. The United Stand still exists. That's Football is a new generic fan channel where we're going to talk about all the big topics in football, and it's something a lot of you on the United Stand have been asking me to do for a long time. And although this isn't my project, I have sort of got on board with it because I am very interested in football, and there's a lot of things around football I want to discuss and get involved with. So I'm happy to sort of help the channel out and get it up and running, and we'll see how long I stay involved in it. But no, very excited about this project. Make sure you subscribe. The little hologram in the bottom right hand corner. Loving the artwork from the Draughty Devil. We want to get as many people as possible over from the United Stand and really grow the channel. In fact, we are very close to 11,000 subscribers, so make sure you click that subscribe button, share it, let's spread the word about That's Football, because we're here to stay. There will be at least daily content, probably twice a day, and we'll be talking about absolutely all the big topics. So if you love football, if you love United, brilliant, United Stand. But if you love football as well, getting subscribed here, because we've got loads and loads of things planned for you. This is just the start. Di Maria could be going to Barcelona. Yes, be interesting. Let's keep an eye on that, because their transfer window doesn't close, does it? I was still hoping Coutinho would go to Barcelona, but doesn't look like that's gonna happen. Shaka, stop doing the repeat comments. You've been told about that so many times. Okay, we've got a contribution here from Andy Pandy. Thanks for that. Is this the first Super Chat contribution to the channel? Happy if you told us about the background and plan forward for the channel. Thanks. Thanks for the contribution, Andy Pandy. No, Matthew McFadden did it today on the pilot show, so you're second. But I like the way the Super Chats work with the Mint. Very good design by the Draughty Devil there. Come on then, flying, you know, I know if you're from the United Stand, you know how it works, but you might have stumbled on us brand new. Live comments on my left. Get involved. This is how we do it. Manager of the month, Mark, says Fortune. I've heard that Klopp is going to get it because they obviously qualified from the Champions League, but they did draw a game. There can only be one manager of the month. It's either Mourinho. It's Mourinho. Manchester United are top of the league outright, 9 points, no goals conceded. It's got to be Mourinho. United fan or not. Am I wrong? Have we got any non-United fans on here who want to disagree with that? I can't see how you'd move away from that. Evening, Rodney. I think Griezmann will come next summer, Mark, and will wear the number 7. So do I, as discussed on the United Stand half an hour ago. Golden Boot winner, says Ollie Fortune. Are we talking World Cup or are we talking Premier League? I would say that the candidates for it are certainly, you can't move away from your normal candidates, although I think he will be hindered a little bit by Gabriel Jesus. So Aguero, Harry Kane, Lukaku. Wouldn't be surprised Morata. I don't think it will go. It's not going to come from anybody outside of that 4. I'm sure Arsenal fans are saying Lacazette, but not for me. Mark, did Joe Hart win his spot in a cereal box? How is he starting for England? Said Jamie. You'll note that I'm live doing That's Football when England are playing, because I cannot stand watching England. I'll watch them in the World Cup next year because it's a major tournament and I love the World Cup. But I don't watch England qualifiers anymore. I think England are just a joke. They're just a money-making machine from the FA. I mean, the managers they appoint. I don't know. Come on. What I want to know is, are Arsenal the biggest losers in the transfer window? Do they deserve the crown of the L? And do you agree with me that Spurs won the transfer window? If you disagree with any of those things, or you want to give a notable shout out to a team, I think Everton and West Brom had very good summers. Get commenting. Let's get this debate going. Huddersfield manager for manager of the month says, come on now, ×2. Yeah, I can sort of see that. They've had a good start to the season. I still would give it to Mourinho. Adam Deverell says, couple of big top 6 clashes this month. City v Liverpool, Arsenal v Chelsea. Yes, very aware of that. We're probably going to do a watch along on That's Football for City versus Liverpool next week. I'm not saying I'm going to do it because I'll be doing United Stoke the night before, but we will be doing watch-alongs on That's Football. That's one element of the channel that will be there. And we won't just be focusing on the Premier League. We will be doing stuff around La Liga, Serie A, and little bits around the German league, which the Bundesliga, and a bit around others as well. But yeah, this was the week. This is the only reason I was going to get involved in the channel. I'm not just doing Premier League. I watch a lot of football and I want to do other stuff as well. So if it keeps me interested, I'll do it. I'd give it to Everton and AC Milan, says Hassan. AC Milan not quite in the Premier League yet, but I know what you mean. They did have a good transfer window, and Everton's transfer window has been very good. Kroenke out, Wenger out, says Haruni. Yeah, Arsenal fans, as much as I think it's funny, as I said this afternoon, from a football fan point of view, and let's not forget that's what That's Football's all about. It's about football fan opinion, no matter who you support. It could be anybody. The Arsenal situation could be anybody. It comes down to bad ownership yet again. Thoughts on Neymar moving and how Barca replace him? Jack, that is a fantastic question. I'll throw this to you whilst I start taking some of your questions. I don't personally believe, as controversial as this is, I don't see what the meltdown about Barcelona is. Ousmane Dembele for Neymar. I think Ousmane Dembele will be the best player in the world inside 2 or 3 years. So at the moment he's no Neymar, but I don't think they're going to massively miss Neymar. And if they could get Di Maria in, or even a Coutinho before they close the window, I think it's a good deal for them. Can we sign Sanchez in January? No, Binoy. Who are we talking about here? United aren't going to sign Alexis Sanchez. He wants to go to City. Mark, do you think Martial is capable of making the French squad for the World Cup in Russia? Says Ashkan. Look, the French squad is amazing, but having said that, I watched a bit of Brazil last night. Their squad's not too bad either. Willian, Jesus, Coutinho, they've got a lot of talent as well. So my early tip for the World Cup would be Brazil or France, but France squad is amazing, and Martial, Deschamps doesn't like Martial, so maybe he won't, which would suit United. Look, if he's motivated to go to the World Cup, that's another good thing for Manchester United, isn't it? And it's a good, it's a good thing for World Cup year. Certain players will play well for those clubs. Walcott will probably have a good season for Arsenal because he wants to go to the World Cup. England have scored. It's 1-0. Harry Kane against the pub team. Neymar's the best. Neymar the best, the second best player in the world, says Pogba. Swansea did good in the transfer window, says Extreme Gaming. Renato Sanchez was a good signing. Northern Light says top 4 for Liverpool with no silverware. Is that a good season from a Liverpool fan? Welcome, very, very welcome. That's what That's Football's all about. Everybody's welcome on here. I'll throw it back to you. Is top 4 a good season for Liverpool? I don't think Arsenal are going to get top 4 this year. And I think when the season started, I was like, 6 into 4 doesn't go. You've got Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea, City, United, Liverpool going for 4 spots, unless one of them wins the Europa League like last year. So maybe Arsenal will get in through the Europa League. I don't think they'll finish in the top 4. So one of them remaining 5 teams will miss out on the top 4. I don't think United will miss out. I don't think City will miss out. And then Chelsea, I don't think Chelsea will miss out. Spurs and Liverpool for the final 4th place. I think Spurs have had the best transfer window. I think Spurs have played the best football in the Premier League for the last 2 years and not won the title. They may do that again this year. Wembley is a massive factor for them. Liverpool have started better than Spurs. Spurs are playing catch up a little bit. Klopp needs to win something, says 1989 Nick ID. Fortune wants the pineapple shirt. I think the pineapple shirt might work quite well with this. What the hell is Chelsea going to do with Diego Costa, says Mike Sandrick. I presume loans can be done, but that's I think there are some managers taking some massive L's, and Conte has taken a few. The handling of Costa just shows that this rumour going round about why so many players have turned Chelsea down is because of Conte's bad reputation. You don't manage that Costa situation like that. One of the best. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Costa. I think he's a bit of a, questionable, but very quality in the way he plays the game, and he was one of the best strikers in the Premier League last year. The best thing you would manage that as Chelsea manager, even if you can't stand him, is you pat him on the back, you help him out the club, you get a bit of money for your club, and you move on. They've done none of those things. They've retained Costa, and he's basically on strike. United won the window by far. Arsenal really lost heavily, says HSMC MUFC. Well, you know, that's your prerogative. I think Spurs won it, but I am a United fan. I can look at it from that point of view. Everyone gets to go to Wembley this year, says Vince Chapman, but that's going to be Spurs downfall, I'm afraid, if you're a Spurs fan. Zach MU says, let's get to 11,000 subscribers. Like, share and subscribe, guys. Look, we're trying to, let's be honest, we've got to promote this channel. It's new. You built the United stand-up from nothing as Manchester United fans. We want to get as many people involved as possible with That's Football. Not just United fans, all fans from all around the world, from all around clubs. Click that subscribe button, like the video, share the news, get involved. We will be doing Skype shows on here as well, which is the call-in show we do on the United Stand. Taking your calls on anything you want to do. That's to come in the future. The live comments there is always going to be there as well. The United Stand is an independent fan channel built up on your opinion. That's Football's going to be the same. So whoever you support, get involved, share, subscribe, and let's grow it. We can do it. We can do it. I wouldn't get involved in a new project if I didn't think we could, because it was bloody hard work getting the United Stand up and running. We can do it with this. Right, Phil Jones starting for England and he's not injured, says Vion Curtin. That is a miracle. I thought he was going to miss out on that. Everton are the big winners, says Dev. Good shout. Watford had a good window, says Pogboom. Yep, notable shout out for them. Let's just have a quick look at Watford actually. They were on my screen. So they got Tom Cleverley in. Will Hughes from Derby County. Very good signing. Interested to see what he does in the Premier League. Nathaniel Chalobah from Chelsea. Decent. Andre Gray from Burnley. And then a load of foreign players that I don't really want to discuss because I'd be wasting your time. And I don't know a couple of them myself. But a lot of players coming in for Watford. Definitely. Newcastle United had an appalling window too. Won't be surprised if they get relegated, says Binoy. Yeah, interesting with Benitez being their manager. I mean, I don't know whether Newcastle are very similar to the Glazers in the fact that when they need to achieve something like get back in the Champions League, get back into the Premier League, spend money, which is what Newcastle did last year, it's what United did last year. Then when you get to where you want to be, don't really spend that much. Newcastle back in the Premier League, not much expenditure. Yutzvath says, I'm going to follow great channels. Brilliant. Will Hughes is a great player bar the injuries, similar to Carrick. Carrick says HSC MUFC. Chelsea will be stronger with the return of Hazard, says Chris Robbins. Definitely, Hazard is a top player and Chelsea will be better for it. Who will win the Champions League, says Extreme Gaming. Interestingly enough, there's a video coming tomorrow that isn't Premier League based, but is a bit about the Champions League. I think that Liverpool will win the Champions League. No. I think if Real Madrid win it, that's 3 in a row. I don't necessarily think Real Madrid are that much better than everybody else. I just think what Zidane's done at Real Madrid is very impressive in the fact that they're not a team of Galacticos. They've not actually really bought anybody in that massively improves them, but what they have is just a real... It's almost like United used to have. It's like they've got quality, obviously, but they've also got such a work ethic, such a team ethic, and such bounce-back ability. I think Real Madrid, you'd be hard pushed not to go away. And to be honest, I'm not a massive fan of Real Madrid in relation to how they boo their fan favourites and stuff like that. And I think their fans can be quite petulant, and I think their presidents can be quite arrogant. There's no doubt in Real Madrid are a legendary club with a great status. As long as PSG don't win it, I'm not bothered. I don't like what PSG have done this summer, and I don't want them anywhere near the Champions League. So Bayern Munich, wouldn't mind them winning it. I think Bayern Munich have gone around their business very, very well as well. But I think you can't move away from Real Madrid. Thanks everyone for watching. What a quick half an hour that was. So that's football. That's the end of the show. Give us a subscribe. Get sharing the word. It's a new channel. It's launched today. There's 2 videos. We did the earlier one about Arsenal and PSG. We've done this one about who's won the transfer window and who takes the L. Sorry Arsenal fans, I think you'd admit it yourself. But Spurs, for me, win it. Get commenting below. I'm actually going to put a poll up so you can vote yourself, and we'll announce that tomorrow. We're going to be very interactive on here. Live comments on every show. We've got a poll up about who you feel wins the transfer window in the Premier League. Get commenting below. Give us your thoughts for any ideas for the shows you want. I think it's going to be a great channel, this. If you're here right at the start, a lot of people always say about the United Stand, I wish I'd been there from the start. You've got that opportunity with That's Football to be here from the very start. Who knows where it can go? It will grow because of you lot. Get involved. We're going to be opening up Skype shows. We will be doing the watch-alongs. Lots and lots of ideas planned, and we're back again tomorrow with more content. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click that bell so you get notified when we are live. Very, very excited. Very excited as to where this can go, and love the fact that we can just talk about football in a general sense now, because I know I was doing a lot of people's head in on the United Stand. Sometimes I'd go off talking about stuff and it's like, get back to United. And we will talk about United on here because United are big news. They always are. But there's a bigger world, and I talk about football with lots of different fans of lots of different clubs, and really excited about it. So thanks everyone. Thanks for Drawty for the graphics and the logo. Brilliant as ever. Thanks for all you lot. We can't do it without you. As you know, live comments, that's what it's all about. And hopefully tomorrow we'll be on 11,000 subscribers, because we're getting there. We're getting there. Keep spreading the word. This is the place to be. Speak to you all soon. Have a great Friday night, and I'll see you back tomorrow on United Stand tomorrow night, maybe in the day as well, but there is going to be content on here. It might not be me though, just a little bit of a hint. Speak to you all soon.